In the following we present another address given by Saint Germain to the students, in which he emphasized the necessity of integrating the four lower bodies before they hope to rise to the ascended master consciousness. Without that integration, man's spiritual progress and evolution will remain short-sighted and incomplete. The one-sided training of the mind, which is usually given in the schools, leaves the invisible, more powerful bodies of the individual entirely untrained, so that these bodies, not to be inclined or perhaps not even having knowledge of the necessity of cooperating for the evolutionary progress of the spirit. To the evolving soul and spirit who seeks to ascend to the ascended master consciousness and tries by various means to achieve this goal of unity with perfected thought and feeling, I offer the following instructions. As the four lower bodies are contributing factors to the fluidic consciousness, which in unascended beings is in a state of constant change, we must see that to rise into the ascended master consciousness, we must have the control of and cooperation from these four sources that are constantly qualifying the individual consciousness of the life stream. As Serapis indicated, for the plane to rise, the four engines must be in complete unison as to revolutions of the propellers, the power of the motors, and the efficacy of the individual engines in order to unite completely with the power of the other contributing engines, that their united impetus might transcend the law of gravity. Due to the uneven development of the inner bodies, it is more of a task to raise and harmonize one than the other, and the particular inner vehicle requiring the greater treatment varies according to the aspirant's development through the centuries. For instance, many devotional life streams find their emotional bodies easily tuned into the spiritual currents, whereas the physical and mental bodies often lag behind. Here you have a spiritual phenomena, so to speak, wherein one of the four bodies, or two, can often experience a great ecstasy, which vibrates but little through the others, and this does not, as a rule, have a lasting and permanent effect, because of the weight of the other bodies, not having been raised to a transcendent place where they were not completely submerged in the higher consciousness, affect adversely the transcendent experience. This has happened time and again when individuals have experienced emotional ecstasy. Individuals with highly developed mental bodies have probed the inner possibilities of the occult law, which have greatly increased their mental capacity, but which are oftentimes never experienced in the emotional body to any extent. You may continue this trend of thought with regard to the other bodies, but of course the etheric body is always impressed by any experience of these three sister vehicles. A little contemplation will assure you that these experiences, when not entered into by the four vehicles of man expression, do not lead to a balanced evolution of the spiritual nature, and will one day require the training and preparation of the lagging vehicle in order that the four may enter the chamber of devotion and aspiration at once, and kneeling simultaneously before the risen host, accept the spiritual communion. In preparation for your meditation and contemplation, it is therefore to your greatest advantage to secure the conscious cooperation of your physical, mental, emotional, and your etheric bodies. Self-analysis will truly reveal to you the various vessels that require more preparation and tuning up than the others which are naturally prepared for the contemplative period. Then, by devoting a little more time to the raising of the recalcitrant members of the team, you will move the entire consciousness of the life stream into the higher octave. You will find then your contemplation more satisfactory and its resulting effect more lasting, and you'll also be a greater service as a conductor because the fine vibrations playing equally through the entire set of vehicles will be of great assistance in developing them toward a more godly expression. Now, having prepared your nature for the inrush of the divine consciousness from your own higher self, or an ascended being, you come to the truth that it is only vibration of thought and feeling which changes, and that you enter the higher octave consciously and at will, by raising the vibration of your four bodies to a point where you enter the vibratory action all around you that is ever present, and to which you can tune yourself by sounding the same keynote as that to which the ascended master consciousness is vibrating. For instance, take kindliness. The spirit of kindliness is ever present. It is not something that must be drawn from beyond the farthest star, but the life stream, desiring to have this consciousness filled with kindliness, merely raises the vibratory action of his inner body and finds it in the room in which he is sitting. The air is filled with the substance of kindliness, and that as he tunes in toward it, the vibratory action of kindliness rushes toward him, and when they meet, the life stream experiences the cosmic feeding which kindliness is. This is the same with purity, wisdom, love, and the various God qualities, just as the music is within the room, but requires a mechanical contrivance to draw the vibratory action downward to a point where the physical ear may hear it. So is the kingdom of heaven at hand, requiring but the conscious attunement of the inner bodies that you may experience in as mechanical and scientific a way the fullness of the octaves of light as you hear a program over the radio. In the following discourse, the following same trend of thought, Saint Germain added the following: Many an ascetic man who obeyed the law of abstinence, who mortified the body and died in a hair shirt, but who did not perform the mortification of the feeling and mental body, has not risen as high as one more lax in fleshly things, but more strict in the sublimation of the soul. Think it through, for on death you don't take your physical body with you, you take your soul. Many a man in a monastery, many a woman in a convent, performing certain abstinence and mortification of the physical body, filled with bitterness, spiritual pride, and arrogance of the soul. When the body is laid down in death, the soul, which was all that was left to go before the karmic board, is worse than if they had lived a jolly life and gone home in a soul in which there was some semblance of tolerance and peace. There is a balance in the law. Moral and ethical obedience to the fleshly law of right living are good and are to be commended if they make faith in the soul endurance in the consciousness and purity in the nature. But if they build up frustrations and cause scars on the soul, better that they had never been. So be it.